Hello. Hello, I'm Lynn Beardsmore, Democratic Officer. Could I ask you to state your name and who you're representing, please?
Yep, I'm Louise Dow, representing Ludgvan Parish Council.
Thank you very much. We're just waiting for the applicant at the moment.
Okay.
I hope that's somebody walking up the stairs and not a ghost.
Claire? Claire, can you hear me?
Yes, hello Lynn.
Hi, are you able to ask, oh, I've got somebody in the lobby now. This looks like it's Mr. Davies, judging by his number. So I'm just going to admit him now.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Lynn Beardsmore, Democratic Officer. Could I ask you to state your name? Hello, the person who's just joined the meeting. I'm Lynn Beardsmore, Democratic Officer. Could I ask you to state your name, please? Claire, can you get a hold of Mr. Davies and let him know we can't hear him? Could he redial into the meeting?
Hello?
Yes.
Ah, there he is.
Is that Mr. Davies?
It is, you're right.
Okay. And you are the applicant.
I am the applicant.
Thank you. Could we please have the live stream switched on now?
I believe the live stream is on now, Lynn. It says
Lovely.
at the
Thank you.
chat box there we are live.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Welcome to the virtual meeting of the Street Trading Subcommittee. I'm Lynn Beardsmore, Democratic Officer. And before consideration of today's business, I'll outline the protocols for the meeting. Today's meeting is being live streamed via Microsoft Teams and is also being recorded. When members are speaking, they may use their video. If the Council's live stream fails during the meeting and the proceedings cannot be shared, the meeting will be adjourned so that access can be restored. If the issue cannot be resolved, the Chairman will halt the meeting and the remaining business will be concluded at a future date. If a member experiences a technical issue, the Chairman will adjourn for a short period whilst efforts are made to re-establish the connection. As members are called to speak, the Chairman will remind you to switch on your microphone. If for some reason you cannot be heard, the Democratic Officer will advise you. Members of the subcommittee who wish to speak on an item should indicate by placing an X in the chat box. The vote will be taken by roll call and the result will be announced. Members must be present for the duration of the discussion on the application in order to be able to vote. We have public representation at the meeting today who have joined the meeting by telephone. Before we start today's business, I'll ask the subcommittee members to confirm they're present. I'll now call your name. Please confirm your name and your electoral division. Councillor Parsons.
My name's David Parsons. I'm the member for Bude.
Councillor Towell.
Kevin Tow, I represent Newquay Treferris.
Councillor Wills.
Councillor Paul Wills and I represent the St Cullen Major electoral division.
I can confirm that the following officers are also present. Mark Andrews, Solicitor Advocate, Senior Lawyer, and Claire James, Licensing Officer, as well as myself, Lynn Beardsmore, Democratic Officer. Moving on to the agenda, I now call for nominations for the position of Chairman for the meeting.
Can I nominate Councillor Wills, please?
Thank you. Nominated by Councillor Wills, nominated by Councillor Parsons. Do I have a seconder?
I'd like to second that proposal.
Thank you. So just go through the roll call for clarity. Councillor Parsons, for, against or abstain.
For.
Councillor Towell.
For.
and Councillor Wills.
4.
Okay, that's unanimous. Councillor Wills, you are chairman for the meeting. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Lynn, and a very good afternoon, everybody. First, I would ask, please, for item 2 on the agenda, apologies for absence, please, Lynn.
No apologies, Chairman.
And declarations of interest, please, members.
None.
In front of us today is the application for consideration of the Local Government Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1982, application for renewal of street trading consent, Mr. K.G.G. Davies, trading from lay-by on the A30 near Newton roundabout at Crowless, Penzance. And we have certain procedures we will be going through this meeting. First of all, I will ask the licensing officer, Claire James, to outline the application for us. Members will then ask any questions they may have to the licensing officer. Secondly, we will hear then from the applicant, who will outline his application. And again, members will be able to question the applicant on what they have said. We will then hear from representation from those who may be objecting to this particular application. Again, members of the committee will be able to ask questions. Finally, we will ask the applicant to sum up. Again, members will be able to ask questions of the applicant on his final summing up. And then we will go into closed session, where you will be asked to leave the meeting, those of you that are not members, and our legal representative and our clerk, and we will then make our decision, and we will call you back into the meeting, and that decision will be read out. So first of all, then, I'm going to introduce Mr. Keith Davies, who is the applicant in this application, and ask Mr. Davies if he would please speak to us and outline. And sorry, Mark, did you wish to say something? Have I missed something?
Thank you, Chair. No, just to clarify that the people won't be invited back into the meeting. They'll be notified by the licensing officer following the meeting of the decision.
Sorry, it's just different than the one I did last week, where we invited everyone back. That was changed.
That's my understanding. I don't know if Lynn can clarify that, but my understanding was that we don't invite them back. And also, before we hear from Mr. Davies, we need to hear from the licensing officer.
Absolutely. Yep. Thank you. Yep. I realised that. Yeah. Thank you.
Lynn Beardsmore, Democratic Officer. Yes, I can confirm. My understanding is the same as Mark Andrews is.
That's fine then. That's fine. It's just that the one I did last week, we invited the applicants and the representatives back to hear the final decision. So I was unaware of that. Okay. Thank you. I'll ask then, please, for Claire James, our licensing officer, to outline the application for us, please.
Thank you, Chairman. The area applied for, being in a lay-by on the A30 near Newtown roundabout at Crowless, Penzance, has been designated as a street trading consent area under the Local Government Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1982. Therefore, it was necessary for Mr. Davies to submit a street trading application. Mr. Davies' application is to sell potatoes, eggs, vegetables, wood carvings, etc. His proposed days and hours of trading for next year, 2021, are shown on pages 3 and 4 of your reports. The views of consultees to the application can be found on page 5 and 6 of the report. Arising from the consultee response from Ludgvan Parish Council, it was felt appropriate that the application should be determined by the Street Trading Subcommittee. For members' information, when the Street Trading Subcommittee determined Mr. Davies' application in December 2018, in addition to the standard street trading conditions, it added the condition that no items shall be allowed to be placed on the actual tarmac area of the lay-by. This condition has since been on Mr. Davies' consent in 2019 and also in 2020. Could members take the rest of the report as read? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Claire. Any questions to our licensing officer? Firstly, Councillor Parsons.
No, thank you.
Councillor Towell, any questions to Claire James, please?
No, thank you. It's all laid out in the report. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Claire. I will now ask Mr. Davies if he will very kindly take the floor and outline his application to us, please. Mr. Davies, it's over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you fine. Thank you.
Right. I've got coronavirus, that's all. No, I haven't got a cold. Application's the same as last year. Nothing has altered whatsoever. As Claire pointed out, I do not place anything on the tarmac. This meeting wouldn't actually be taking place if it wasn't for Ludgvan Parish Council saying they need this lay-by for lorries to park. Well, I don't affect lorries parking. They don't actually park on the grass. They park on the tarmac. I affect nobody at all using this lay-by. And as was pointed out to them last year, if they didn't keep complaining, this meeting would never have to take place, and the revenue the council get from me wouldn't be wasted on paying for this meeting. It's the same objection again. Some people may know me, some people may not in this meeting. They'll know I rabbit on about the man up the road, but the other end of Crowless Village, there is a man doing the same thing as me, who is a parish councillor, who's 4 days a week on an exemption with no licence, and all these parish council people that complain about me shop with him as I have seen them there myself. So I think it's sour grapes trying to get rid of me, but I've been there a long time and hopefully will be staying. I've got nothing else to add, really. I have been there. I've been there all summer. I've got lots of customers, lots of people glad to see me during the COVID thing. And I also think during this pandemic, it's been really hard to try and make a living without people moaning and groaning and whinging about what I'm doing. I don't affect the lay-by. I don't affect the traffic flow. The police don't object. The highways don't object. Nobody objects ever except the Ludgvan Parish Council. Maybe if they came in and shopped with me, they find my stuff might be a little bit better and a little bit cheaper. I don't know. Maybe it's just sour grapes. But other than that, I've got not a lot to say, really. So over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davies. Appreciate your frankness there. Councillor Parsons, any questions, please, for the applicant?
No, thank you.
Councillor Towell.
Yeah, only one to the applicant. You said you've applied before. How many years have you been trading there now for?
Verging on probably 26 years now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Davies, all your produce, do you source that locally?
Yes, it's all Cornish except for the Dutch onions, believe it or not. Because they grow in Holland. And the man at the road sells Dutch onions and Dutch whites. And on a council visit, he told them he grows them himself. They don't grow in this country. His exemption is for his own produce. So he grows Dutch white onions and Dutch white cabbage and all sorts of stuff. And Christmas trees this year as well.
How busy does the lay-by get during the summer months? I mean, I appreciate the fact that you are not actually trading from the tarmac. That the only thing that's on the tarmac that is yours is your van.
No, my van is on the tarmac. My van is on the grass as well.
Oh, you put off grass as well,
I have a hard standing now, which highways have given me, actually.
Right, okay.
Nothing of mine whatsoever is in the lay-by. The lay-by does get busy with tourists stopping, people getting out and using the hedge as a toilet.
Yeah.
People using the lay-by as a litter bin, dirty nappies, etc. The odd one stopping. I get one customer maybe every 10 minutes, quarter hour, maybe half hour in the summer. I get 1 hour in the winter, but I'm still there. Lorries, maybe the Tesco one, which comes there every time I'm there, always parks in the lay-by, has a chat to me, no problem with him. McDonald's pull in, Aldridge Transport pull in. They all use the lay-by. I don't affect any lorry drivers or anybody else using the lay-by. I do shout at people leaving litter and using the edge as a toilet and explain there is one at Marazion, but other than that, I don't affect anything to do with the traffic whatsoever.
And I should imagine that, you know, during the busy summer months and also harvest time, there's a lot of tractors that use the lay-by to pull in to let traffic overtake them once they, because there's no dual carriage right there.
They're supposed to, and believe it or not, when you're a tractor, if you've got more than 5 cars behind you, you don't pull in a suitable space, you can get 3 points on your licence.
I'm aware of that, that's why I asked.
Some of them do pull in, some of them go straight past the lay-by with a queue behind them, but yes, they pull in there.
Right,
I
okay,
don't expect anybody at all using that lay-by.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's the questions from members then to the applicant. There is only one representation, and that has come from Ludgvan Parish Council, and representing them today is Louise Dow. Louise, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you. Yeah, and I'm just representing the view of the Parish Council as the Parish Clerk, so I'm sort of not a decision maker or have got any sort of particular opinion on this. So the resolution from the Parish Council was that it lodges an objection to the street trading renewal on the grounds of highway safety on a trunk road and the need for lorries to be able to park before deliveries in the Penzance area, as it's the last lay-by before Penzance. The additional information I've had is noting that I think there's been a change in the times that lorries can deliver in Penzance at the moment. So there was some concern that there might be an increased need for lorries to be waiting in order to fit with the Penzance delivery times. That's all I have to offer.
Thank you. Any questions, please, to Louise from Councillor Parsons?
Are Ludgate Parish Council aware that highways are not objecting to this?
At the time that the parish council was consulted, it wasn't the end of the consultation date. So I think as it was discussed at the parish council meeting, there was an expectation that highways would be submitting a response, but it wasn't known what that response might be.
Thank you.
Councillor Towell.
No, thank you, Chair. That was going to be my question. So thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask, please, Ms. Down, have Ludgate Parish Council objected to the other trader at the other end of Ludgate?
I don't know.
Past? You're unaware of that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's the only question. No, that's fine. That's the only question.
Yeah, I've just been in post since February.
All right, that's fine. Thank you very much. No, that's fine. I can't expect you to know everything. I just wondered if you did know that it would have been handy to know. All right, thank you very much. No other questions, I believe. So thank you very much, Louise, for your time there. We go now back to the applicant to finally sum up. Mr. Davis, it's up to you to finally sum up to us, please.
Right. The only thing they seem to be worried about is highways. Highways have never, ever objected since street trading came into force. I think it was 2018. They never have objected. In fact, they've helped me or given me permission and helped me a little bit to put a hard stand in there as well. So highways have got no objection whatsoever to it.
Thank you.
I don't know what else to say, really. There is illegal traders appeared last weekend just because it's Christmas. Down round the corner from me on the Helston Road, there's 3 people with tractors and trailers selling veg now. Perhaps the enforcement officers could take a ride out this weekend and have a look. But other than that, I've got nothing else to say. I don't know what to say. I'm there, I'm trading. I don't affect anybody. I don't affect the labour. I don't affect the road. I don't cause any nuisance. I don't cause any accidents. Over to you, really.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Mr. Davies. Anything further, Councillor Parsons, wish to ask the applicant, please?
No, thank you.
Councillor Towell?
No, thank you, Chair.
And I have nothing further to ask you, Mr. Davies. So I think we'll move on now to exclusion of the press and public so that councillors can make their decision. And as we heard before, you will be notified what that decision is. And I thank both the applicant and the representative of Ludgate Parish Council for joining us this afternoon and being clear and concise in your representation from both the applicant and from Ludgate. And thank you very much for being so clear and concise, because it made it a lot easier for us. I think over to you now, Lynn, to make sure everyone's left the meeting, and you need to read out the necessary paperwork for us to vote on.
I will do, Chairman. Could the parties please leave the meeting? Members of the public and the Parish Council representative now, please leave the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Still got one person here. Oh, they've gone now. That's
They've gone.
it.
I think we need to make sure also that once we've voted, the live stream is then switched off. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Claire, did you wish to say something? Sorry, Claire's put next in the
I
box.
need to leave the meeting now as well, don't I?
You do, Claire. Thank you.
I'll leave the meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Chairman, if you'd like to read out your exemption paragraph.
I will do that now for you. I've got to multi-screen now. See how clever this is. It's proposed that under section 100A4 of the Local Government Act 1972 as amended, The public be excluded from the meeting for the following items of business on the ground it involves the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraph 5 of part 1 of schedule 12A of the Act, namely information in respect of which any claim of professional privilege could be maintained in legal proceedings, and that proceedings apart from the resolution passed shall remain confidential. I so propose, and I look for a seconder, please.
Seconded.
Thank you, Councillor Parsons. If you'd like
Thank
to
you.
go to the
Just
vote,
do
please.
yes, just do the roll call. Councillor Parsons, for, against, abstain.
4.
Councillor Towell,
4.
Councillor Wills.
4.
That's unanimous, Chairman.
Thank you. And we also, once the live stream is switched off, we need then to confirm that we are on our own and no one else can hear us.
Correct. Thank you. Ian, could you arrange for the live stream to be paused, please, and to confirm that in the chat box?